Hello and welcome to episode 38 of the Liberty for Failing podcast. And yes, we're all tired because it's late at night, and me and Ben were both at Penn State in the cold. So yeah. Joining us again is Alex. And Alec, I'm definitely gonna mix up your names in the slightest way.
Oh yeah, people get like our own friends get us mixed up. I have numerous times I've heard Ben and Jared just totally mix up our names. I haven't. So
I've often heard people call me Alex.
Alex.
Well, I know. Well, look, I'm not the brightest one in the bunch, so that's why I mixed up your names. But I don't know why Jared does.
yeah, he's. I don't know.
Jared's Jared.
Jared's Jared. Yeah.
So, anyways, let's just start off with the Phillies. Nothing going on too much right now. Other than the Philadelphia Inquirer wrote an article saying JT Realmuto should be the Phillies left fielder. I think we should burn down the Inquirer.
I think he needs to have his brain checked for something like
he doesn't know anything about baseball.
JT can catch and he is athletic, sure, except for the fact that he is a catcher. He is a catcher.
You think I'm wrong? Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my God. We won't find anyone to replace him. Not even I don't even think Rafael Marchand is going to get to that level ever, so I don't think it makes sense to.
Logan Alhapi, we have a couple good ones, but still, what is this? What is it? I mean, and look at the fake art, like the article that it just makes fun of it. Aaron Nola should be the Phillies shortstop sooner or later.
I saw that one. It was this reminds me of some Onion article where they just make a satire.
I know,
out of everything,
but the thing is, that's a real article. This is a real. Wait.
Are we that desperate, folks? Come on.
Look at this.
The playoff.
Isn't he coming at all these start stuff? It's just he's always starting drama in some.
Whoever this man's is.
And also, that's a really bad idea. He's a Gold Glove catcher. Don't move him.
Yeah,
I mean, I understand why the conversations came up because, obviously, if you have a catcher gets older, they're not going to be able to be a catcher all year. But then again, you have first base. He can play first base perfectly normal.
Yeah,
I would probably rather have.
And there's a DH too, probably coming. There's a DH.
That's less bewildering to me than Aaron Nola becoming shortstop. Did all those guys, hang out at each other's houses eating ice cream? It's you know what'd be really funny? Let's write these horrible articles that no one wants to read, and then have a good laugh about.
No. They probably did an MLB The Show franchise and pinched hit Aaron Nola for Didi Gregorius in the World Series, and he probably hit a single. And he's oh my God, this guy needs to be the starting shortstop. But Bryson Stott, I really think he's going to be starting shortstop next year.
I don't know. It depends on what we do. I don't think
we're trading Didi.
If you want to trade Didi, you're gonna have to trade him and a prospect or two.
And I'm perfectly fine with that, as long as the money's gone. All $15 million of it are not on
Didi
my
is going to be
not.
Didi isn't going to be starting. I don't know if he's going to be off the team at the beginning of the season, but it depends on if we sign a big free agent shortstop or not.
Because let me just pull up this article, because there's some parts of this I do like. And it is a member of WIP, which Alec knows kind of well. It's written by Mr. Jack Fritz. Fritz.
I've heard of Jack Fritz, yeah.
So some of this article is really bad, but it also has a couple good aspects of which I want to take out of it. So if you look here, here's our local sports radio. Also, just to let it be known, I only listen to 94 WIP literally at night. Every other time, I don't like anybody else who's on. 97.5 is better in the morning and the afternoon. That is my hot take. Anyways, get out pop-up ad. I don't like it.
Who's on night now? It's Oh wait, I'm sorry. Tilly. What am I thinking?
Yeah, I like the nights. I could go either way, but in the afternoons, I Marks and Reese more than Missinelli. Missinelli, I just don't enjoyable.
Alec, I think you just dissed your uncle there.
No, I like it. I like Howard. Howard's a nice. I know people give him a bad rep, but like in some cases, he's like actually like enjoyable because he's like makes fun of people who are like complaining.
In some cases, he's actually enjoyable. Quote Mitchell Weininger.
I'm saying there's some parts where you're like, what is he talking about? But in some cases, he makes fun of people, which is funny. So I like that.
All right.
Alex, you gotta roast me now.
He-
I'm gonna have an
he-
entire segment dedicated.
He could have said, like, Alec just could have come out and totally, like,
He probably
given
just
you-
dissed me.
he probably-
Howard
it is-
Eskin's review to the Liberty for Philly podcast.
he's gonna see this and he's just gonna be like, holy shit, this kid is about to get what's
This
coming
kid's
to
gonna
him.
get roasted.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. This was written before Bryson Stott like actually looks good in Arizona Fall League. I do not want to sign Trevor Story. I think the money should go elsewhere other than the infield. I like this idea. I like signing the Japanese Nick Castellanos, basically. I have never literally heard of him before. I think he could play left field. I think he would be pretty good.
He's supposed to, he could play any position in the outfield. I
So-
think they said obviously we don't need right field, so center or left.
Is
But
Suzuki that good? That good though. I don't know.
they said that's the thing is like he's good.
He's good
where
in
he
Japan. Yeah.
he's good where he played, but can that translate to the MLB? That's the
How old
question I
Yeah.
have.
So it'd
They
be
said,
kind of a high risk, high reward.
2027 he is. Says another thing.
Let me just write out my lineup here. First base, catcher.
I mean, he had 38 homers, and the stat line looks pretty solid. But
Yeah.
Japan is different from, the MLB.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
It is. You would say different.
hmm
All right. There we go. Let me just finish up what I'm going to talk about. What's this guy's name again? Suzuki. And then
Suzuki.
who would play? Oh yeah, that's right. I totally forgot he existed for a second. All right. So then I would sign Suzuki. So I would have him in left. And here's why. I believe that the Phillies, I like this thing. And I do believe the Phillies should trade for Kevin Kiermaier.
I like that idea.
I like that idea. Simon Muzziotti, we have a surplus in center fielders. I mean, we always will have Mickey Moniak. We have Matt Vierling. We have Johan Rojas. We have Jahel Ortiz, who are both coming up in the system and showing great promise. So that kind of makes Muzziotti kind of a good trading piece right now. And I would have him in center field. Kiermaier is always a great batter. And I think he's the best defensive center fielder, one of the best in the game in center field. And I think that would actually be perfect for the Phillies. Now, I really like this trade too. Lou Trevino is a great closer for what's it called? The Oakland Athletics. He was great out in Oakland, and I think he would be a great low like Eric Miller is a great pitcher. However, he's still a couple things away, but I would still have him.
Yeah. I mean that's fair. I don't know much about I don't know much about Lou Trevino just because he's on the A's and there's always a lot of players in the A's who people don't tend to know about. And then when you read their stats and when you see them actually play, you're like, okay, this guy is actually pretty good.
Yeah, the only reason I knew about him was mostly because I had him on fantasy last year, and he got like 50 saves and holds, and he only blew like I think 5 out of the 50.
Yeah.
So according to what we have experienced on this team, I think that is a pretty good replacement.
In the right direction.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, if I can count here, which I probably can't, but Rado, Neris, Higuez. Who's still in this bullpen? Kunrad, Brogdon, And who am I forgetting? Oh, yes. My other signing. So then 5 is I would want Hector back. Hector is
I don't like him a lot, but I mean he's a good middle reliever, so yeah.
He picked it up at the end of last season, so I don't think it would be a bad investment as long as we'd have to pay him a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't like this trade because I don't see him working out in the bullpen. Mostly because I want to give up Mickey Moniak for some guy on the Pirates.
For a guy with a 2.23 ERA and under control for the next 5 years, I'd be more than happy to drive him over to Pittsburgh for this guy.
Actually, it's just mostly because of the fact that like I don't think there's room for him because like, I mean, unless you no. Like I'm saying, I don't mind the trade. It's more of a fact that there's like no room for him in the bullpen.
Who's their
What
So
do you
say
mean?
if you have Trevino, Alvarado, Neris, Dominguez, Connor Brogdon will stay definitely.
Yeah.
I don't see Coonrod going anywhere because he's cheap and under club control.
I like
That leaves one spot open for free agent or David Bednar. I was thinking we could go out and re-sign Jake Diekman.
No, I will take
Eh.
Pirates with a 2 ERA, and I will go with Alec, take a 5-hour drive, and get this guy myself.
All right, I can change that. Fine, Bednar's in our bullpen.
Speaking of Pirates, I saw a trade earlier. I don't know if it's on this list yet. But would Brian Reynolds be a good trade for the Phillies?
I don't think we have enough to get him.
That's what I'm trying to think. It's like we had
to give up Bryson Stott, Mick Abel, and probably a couple other top 10 prospects to get Brian Reynolds, and I would rather prefer Kevin Kiermaier to.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I think they'd want more. Probably, I think they value him very highly, but
yeah,
we'll see.
So then I don't think we should sign Knable because I don't think there's any room left in the bullpen. I wouldn't mind signing Brett Gardner. I think it would be a good addition to the bench. Yeah, so I would bring him on. I would do this in a heartbeat. I would literally drive Royce to Colorado.
Yes.
Get his $15 million out of here, and I would literally really love Johnny Cueto. I said this to other people that I think Cueto would be a great innings eater and a great piggyback starter for when Eflin's first coming back. So I think that's probably a good idea, as people are making fun of Kevin Kiermaier and Brian Reynolds and I'm not gonna go into depth about it. I'm just saying it's happening. And then, so this is what they have as the roster. They have JT, Rafael Marchand, Reese, Alec, Bryson Stott at second base. This is the thing. Why is Gene Segura playing third base?
Yeah, I don't know. He should play.
Why?
Probably.
I don't mind that. I mean, he's not a bad fielder. He was good last year at second base. I mean,
yeah, but I'd rather have him at second base.
This is what I would have. I would have left field be Suzuki, center field be Kevin Kiermaier, right field be Harper. I would spend the rest, instead of getting Corey Knable and like all the other free agents, I would sign Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant for third, Bryson Stott for shortstop, Segura for second, Bohm moves to first, JT's catcher, and Hoskins is just DH. So you can flip, like, obviously you can flip Bryant into the outfield. You can move JT to first on certain days. You can move Hoskins to first. You can move Bohm to third. So it gives you utility there. And then for your bench, you have Brett Gardner, Matt Vierling. I say you re-sign Brad Miller and Freddie Galvis just for bench pieces. And then you have Rafael Marchand, who's the next man up in the catching depth chart until you probably trade him away when Logan O'Hoppy's ready to come up. Then for your pitching rotation, I have Wheeler, Nola, Gibson, Suarez, Cueto, and then Eflin will hop back in when he's healthy. Then your bullpen's going to be Coonrod, Brogdon, Bednar, Dominguez, Neris, Alvarado, and Lou Trevino. And I think that's a decent team. And I think that team would be able to stay under the tax. if anything, they'll go over by like 100K. But like, that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, high school though.
Yes, North Penn lost this week to Ridley. I want to say, yeah, it's Ridley. But Garnet Valley moves on. East lost, which was not really surprising, but sucks to see. So now we have Coatesville versus Ridley, which is going to be a nice game.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors going into that. And Great Valley plays Quakertown. Garnet Valley plays Quakertown. And I think Garnet Valley would win. And I think Coatesville loses to Ridley. And shut up. Really? Zoom, shut up. We'll make this go quick. So, but yeah, I think Garnet Valley is the team to beat in this tournament now.
Yeah, well,
They're the 1 seed.
yeah, they're the one seed, so they were the team to beat to begin with. Ridley versus Coatesville is going to be a shootout. It's going to be two really bad defenses against each other, but really two great stellar offenses against each other. Tahir Mills for Ridley. They have a great quarterback for Ridley, and also Harrison Susi for Coatesville and their receiving core. Ricky Ortega's little brother's there as well. He's a pretty good receiver, so that's going to be a good game. And Quakertown, Garnet Valley, Quakertown's quick. They're tiny, but they're quick. They run this play action thing where they like to run it, but also pass it, to their tight end, number 87. I don't know his name. This is a big opportunity for Quakertown where they can probably compete in this game. But they have to score. They have to score because CB West is probably one of the best defenses in the tournament, along with Quakertown. And it looks like CB West could not stop us. They just had to tire out. So they have to score, and Garnet Valley needs to play big.
Yeah.
It was definitely. Our defense definitely really was able to once they got their feet down, once they got their feet on the ground. CB West just could not move the ball. At first their running back Eli Boehm and was able to get a lot of yards after contact. But both lines were actually held up pretty good throughout the first and throughout the first quarter and the first half of the second quarter. However, eventually Garnet Valley was able to wear them down, and they were able to break things open a little bit before halftime, and that momentum carried on to the second half. So again, cast off to CB West. They're not, but they're a good team. They played well and definitely deserved to be there last night.
Yeah, definitely.
And I will say, with the losses of Central York and Parkland, it really has opened up the doors for two teams in this tournament. Maybe actually three. Mount Lebanon in Pittsburgh. They're one of the Pittsburgh teams. Central York lost, so one of the big teams in that bracket is out.
Isn't that the Penn
Boomer.
State commit? Yeah, I was gonna say that's a Penn State commit.
So they're out. They're done. Parkland lost. So they were the number 1 seed in the Poconos. But Bethlehem Freedom's also good, but not as good as Parkland, in my opinion. And then number 3, LaSalle lost to St. Joe's Prep, which to me stuns me. And not just lost, but lost by a lot. So this opens up the door for St. Joe's Prep. It also opens up the door for whoever wins District 1. I believe the winner of the District 1, District 12 matchup wins the whole thing.
Who's the winner from District 1 play again?
District 12, St. Joe's Prep. Well, St. Joe's Prep is playing Northeast, but I don't think Northeast is going to compete with them.
They're going to get crushed.
Yeah. So literally, I think the winner of District 1, District 12 wins it all. Agreed, Alec?
Yeah, I would have to say so. Right now, St. Joe's is obviously the favorite just because they recruit their private school. But whoever wins from District 1, I think is going to keep it close with St. Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else to talk about?
I think that's good. because our meeting time's running out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how the. Is it this guy? I'm trying to find the one Penn. Yep, it's Medina. So the other guy who's Drew Aller, who's a Penn State commit, he's the 1-2. He's still in the playoffs in Ohio, and they won 27-14 in their division. Fortunately, I think my grandparents' school lost. Yeah, they lost in the semifinals, which sucks. But it's funny how Ohio has like so much bigger. They have a totally bigger and I think better playoff system than what Pennsylvania has. That's just like,
That's not hard to do.
yeah, their first round starts on October 29th that weekend, and the finals are until December 2nd and 3rd, which is like crazy. But it makes sense because it has to be because I think they're held in Ohio Stadium and like other like famous stadiums around the state. So it kind of makes sense why it has to be like after football season ends.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
But in Pennsylvania, you get the great honor of going to Hershey for your finals instead of like Penn State.
Hershey, I think is like a tradition.
It's a tradition. I mean,
it'd be a little cooler if you play like, let's say, Penn State, maybe like Heinz Field or Lincoln Financial.
that's where like they should do something like the semifinals. Like you get one in Lincoln and one in Heinz, and then you get the final and say college because you get left, right, middle. I think this system does need an overhaul, but will they do it? No. Is it better? Yes. Will they do it? No.
Wait, State College?
I mean, that's why it's there for a reason because it's like in the middle of the state.
I thought that's a high school, isn't it?
No. Like State College, the Beaver Stadium part of State.
I thought you were talking about the school for a second.
No,
okay.
Downtown East beat State College this year, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good. I like the idea though. So maybe if like state semis, you do it at Heinz and Lincoln Financial, and then for the finals. Then
I think that's what they do for hockey. Yeah, that's what they do for hockey. They Pennsylvania hockey tournaments. They play the one finals in Wells Fargo and the other ones in Pittsburgh. It's interesting. Not Penn State. State College Little Lions varsity football finished 6-5 this year. They lost to Central Dauphin East, lost to actual Central Dauphin, and lost to Carlisle and Harrisburg. Oof.
Yeah, they had a tough schedule, but a lot of the teams Downtown East played that were supposed to be good underachieved.
Yeah. Hey, they're still in the playoffs though. They beat Williamsport 17-14 in the Central Mountain. Now they play Delaware Valley.
Oh, they'll lose that. Oh, actually, that's the other team that Downtown East beat that underachieved.
Mm-hmm. Delaware Valley's 9-3.
Yeah, no.
Finished 4-0 in conference play though.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
We definitely shall see. But closing thoughts, anybody in 2 minutes?
The Sixers need Joel Embiid. That's all I have to say.
My final thought. Yeah, I guess my final thought is, Alec, when we starting the car trip to go to Pittsburgh to get this guy? Start the engines? No.
I'm free next weekend.
My brother goes to Pitt. We can stay with him.
No, absolutely not.
But well, I would say that well, if Ben Simmons comes back and plays, I'll be sad because Tyrese Maxey is 1,000 times better than Ben Simmons. And that's basically all I'm gonna say. Well, this has been episode 38 of the Liberty for Philly podcast. We so hope to see you for episode 39. We'll see you guys next time.